was a mistake, and it was never my intention to hurt you. It hurt me too. When they are entirely cornered, when the digital footprint is exposed, the evidence is lying flat on the table, and they realize they can no longer gaslight their way out of the room. They will pull out the ultimate, desperate, defensive weapon. They will look at you, tears streaming down their face, their voice shaking with panic, and they will swear to you that the other person meant absolutely nothing. It was just physical. It was a stupid lapse in judgment. It meant nothing to me, I swear. They expect you to hear those words and feel a sudden sense of relief. They want you to grab onto that phrase like a life raft. They are trying to convince you that because their heart wasn't involved, the betrayal doesn't actually count. They want you to find comfort in the idea that you are still the primary emotional priority, because apparently you are the one they love. But let's pause the tape and look at how deeply, unbelievably insulting that claim actually is. Think about the math of what they are really saying to you. They are looking you directly in the eye and admitting that they were willing to entirely destroy the foundation of your shared future for absolutely nothing. They looked at your trust. They looked at your absolute loyalty. They looked at the years of sacrifice, the missed holidays, the expensive flights, and the emotional labor you put into holding this relationship together. And they traded all of it for a zero-value, temporary thrill on a random night. If this betrayal truly meant nothing to them, then what exactly is your relationship worth? Please trust me again? Please forgive me, and I promise that Some of you might even consider it, and there is nothing wrong with that. Just think about the audacity of that exchange rate. If they had fallen deeply in love with someone else, it would be devastating, but it would at least make logical sense. But they are telling you they burned down a mansion for a single marshmallow. And now, look at the absolute absurdity of what happens next. After admitting that they burned your entire reality down for a zero-value thrill, they actually expect you to pick up the tools and rebuild it. They want you to read the books, go to the therapy, and do the heavy emotional lifting to figure out how to trust them again. They want you to swallow the ultimate insult and then thank them for their honesty. They are weaponizing your empathy, using your deep capacity for forgiveness against their own consequences. If they are willing to destroy your entire life for zero reason, how can you ever hand them a match again? How can you ever trust them with your future again? Start from scratch? Opening a new chapter, even though the book's cover has been torn apart? Do not sit there on the edge of the bed and try to find comfort in the fact that it meant nothing. That is not a lifeline to save the relationship. That is the most terrifying part of the entire confession. Since I have nothing to hide anymore, we have to build a new meaning for us. Because you need to understand that a person who is willing to make you the acceptable casualty for a temporary moment of friction does not love you. They love the safety of you. They love the infrastructure you provide. They love knowing that no matter how recklessly they drive, you will always be there to pay the insurance premium. They didn't just disrespect your physical boundaries. They looked at your entire reality, weighed it against an entirely worthless night with a stranger in a dark corner, and decided that watching you shatter into a million pieces was a price they were willing to pay. But it all meant nothing, and was a genuine mistake. I'm telling you the truth. You are the only one I truly love, and you understand me better than anyone. I bet these kinds of sentences will definitely work on you like a charm, am I right? So stop asking how to bridge the gap of a long-distance crisis. Stop looking for communication worksheets to rebuild trust. You cannot communicate your way out of being fundamentally devalued. Think about it for a second. In a minute, you will finally realize what you are actually worth to them. You can always go back and rebuild over and over again, or you can even leave at this very moment. Both options are entirely available to you.